Making my electrolytes for the morning, and I was just thinking about how I have truly built a business that supports my life in every iteration of my life, from moving to wedding planning to going through a breakup and needing to push things back to like truly knowing how to bring in consistent 5 and multiple 5-figure months into my business. Like I've truly built a business of freedom where I'm not on one-on-one calls 24/7, where I'm not in Slack 24/7, where, I support my clients at a high level, but I still have the ability to serve myself and pour into myself. Now, one of the major reasons that my business looks like this is because I built my business for the long term versus the short term. So many people in business are, come to me and they're capped at one-on-one client calls, or they're capped in like stressing out every single morning about getting back to all their, Slack messages because they have so many clients that are just, like making them feel like they don't actually have freedom in their life. So it's a luxury to take a walk midday, or to go to Pilates or yoga midday, or it's a luxury to sit on the couch midday, or just relax in the middle of the day. And that's not how it should be if you're actually building a business for freedom. So let's talk about what building for the long term actually looks like. I also do want to point out, just because I have slow freedom based days, this is what my payouts look like on any given day. Again, because I'm building for the long term, because I know how to sell and make money, and I know how to make my audience move. There's this focus on recurring payments, but also obviously bringing new clients into my space. I was talking to one of my one-on-one clients about this yesterday, but I think the reason that a lot of people get capped in their business, where they are just struggling 24/7 and they're, constantly on calls, and they basically become a slave to their computer, is because when they're building their business, they're not thinking for the long term in their vision. So one of my clients was telling me yesterday that long term, she wants to have a family. She wants to have freedom to have a family. She wants her business to be simple. So even though that's down the line 3 years from now, we are creating the steps in her business to get her there now. So we're not just focusing on her selling one-on-one coaching, we're focusing on expanding her product suite, diversifying her income to allow that level of freedom. So I want you to actually ask, like, what do I want my business and life to look like? How do I want my business to support my life? Because that's going to look different for everyone. The next thing that you should focus on is relationship building. One of the best things that a mentor ever told me was, even if someone says no right now, that doesn't mean no in the long term. So when we focus on relationship building, we have in mind the fact that we could support them down the line, but then we're also focusing on impact over just signing clients. When you focus on impact, everything changes in your business. So every conversation that I have, every, podcast that I do, every piece of content that I create, I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking relationship building. I'm not thinking, how can this convert for me right now? Because not every piece of content is actually meant to convert. Some pieces of content are meant to nurture and bring awareness to your offers. So when we're thinking relationship building, when we're thinking long-term in that way, you will always have clients coming into your space. I already mentioned the diversification of your offer suite, but I think that I made the mistake very early on in my business of just having these heavy group programs that required me to live launch. And so eventually I took those programs evergreen, and now my signature program, TDA, that I've been running for 5 years, is evergreen. But the other important piece of that is that I've been running that program for 4.5, 5 years, and that program has the ability to bring me in alone $200,000 a year, just by bringing 20 clients into that program in the span of a year. So it keeps the group small, but it's also super, super scalable, and it doesn't take a lot of my time. It takes 3 calls a month, as well as one-on-one messaging, but my clients see great results from it, and they've actually told me that I create walking 5K testimonials, and most of my clients have gone on to create even 6-figure businesses after that program. The other thing that we need to think about when we are building for the long term is that no matter what in business, there are going to be challenges. There are going to be hard moments. There are going to be moments where you literally want to throw your phone and your laptop out the window and say, fuck it to all this, because that's just business. You can never skip the lessons. In fact, a lot of the lessons are just preparing you for your next income level. So, times where sales were slow for me, or times where I was on my honeymoon and I received a cease and desist, or had a client that complained about a program, knowing what that program entailed, or, someone tried to refund my membership, right? Like, how do I handle those moments? And also, I need to expect that moments like that are going to happen, because we're dealing with people. So how can I make my products better so that doesn't happen, and create better systems in my business? But then on the flip side, also just knowing there are going to be moments like that in business, and being prepared for it, and knowing subconsciously that I can hold that responsibility. Long-term building is also thinking about how your business outlasts you and stands the test of time? Is there something, within your business or your brand that you're building that actually can outlive you, that someone else, and this doesn't necessarily mean someone might purchase your business down the line, but your legacy and the impact that you create outlives you, and people are still talking about you for standing the test of time. When you lead from that place of, I want my business to stand the test of time and I want to create a legacy, you're focused on impact and value over just how do I get the next sale, and that changes everything for you. I see way too many people that are waking up every single morning and they're immediately grabbing their phone and they have a million messages they need to respond to, and they're stressed out first thing. And they don't eat breakfast and they get their coffee on an empty stomach and they jump onto work and they have all these meetings and they're just on their laptop all day and they don't have any fun. They're not actually living their life. They think about their business literally 24/7. So even if you were to go to lunch midday or go to a Pilates class midday, you'd be thinking about content ideas. You'd be thinking about how fast can I implement this, or when is my next sale coming in? Like, that's not a way to live in business. When you have strong business foundations and you also master your mind to master your business, that's when everything changes for you and you actually get to live your life in a way that feels good. You actually get to have fun. You actually get to enjoy your business. You get to fall back in love with your business. That's what we do together. So if you're someone who is constantly thinking about your business, who always is like, where's the next sale going to come in? What do I need to post today to get someone to buy? And thinking like, people can't pay my price point, my audience isn't big enough, and you always have these negative thoughts that are running rampant, we need to have a conversation. DM me, freedom.